Yeah, it's that episode. Settle down. Settle down. Don't get too excited. Because it gets better. No, it doesn't. We get to go inside of Home Depot and rummage through some of the most cockeyed, shittiest crooked wood on the planet. So anyway, welcome to episode, where are we now? I don't know, I'll insert it up here. But yeah, as you saw, we're pulling up to Home Depot and we are gonna get that pad riser done today. And we are gonna piss off, trust me, this is gonna be a comment generator because we are gonna piss off the YouTube contractors and carpenters. I am not a professional, guy, so don't beat me up. We are just building a pad to get a set of drums up off the ground. It is what it is and it works for me, but we're going into Home Depot. I gotta get some 10 by 6 by 2s. I think I gotta get 14 of them. I gotta get 4 or 5 sheets of 3/4 ply. We gotta handle that sump pump issue, so I've gotta get, I think it's 1.25 PVC, fittings, lens, glue. I think I need a couple pounds of fasteners. Maybe some bracketry because it's a tight spot. But this episode might be boring for some of you, and it may not apply to all. Again, this is my journey and it's tailored to me, and I'm about to get hit right now. So go ahead. You could have got it the first time, but anyway, so let's go in here. Like I said, this project won't apply to all of you. It might be a little boring, but for our particular journey, it's what we need to do. So anyway, sit back, listen to some 2x4. I think that's fitting. We'll get this riser done, and then wait till the end, and we'll do something cool. I think maybe we'll mock this kit up. Oh, and we got to get a carpet too. That's going to be exciting as fuck. So stay tuned, listen to some 2x4. Stick around to the end. I appreciate it, and let's build this riser. $12 per board. When I built the Wherever I May Roam pad and the Damage Justice pad, this shit was like $6. So as usual, another miserable trip to Home Depot. It never fails. So huge shout out to Home Depot and Lowe's. We can't forget about Lowe's for systematically putting every small hardware store and lumber yard across this beautiful country of ours out of business, and then not keeping up their end of the bargain with the quality and producing some of the shittiest wood and other things that there is. Yeah, I know. Real riveting content. But first things first, I have to handle the piping on this sump pump so I can get the frame around here, because I don't want to have plywood over the top and have to like cut the plywood and, you know, mate it on both sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this pipe, level it off. This frame here will sit on top of it. We'll notch it, and then we'll bring this is actually the humidifier hose. We'll bring this around and we'll start framing. That's right, we're going to prime the pipe to prove to the inspector that we're not going to call we primed it. Alright, so that cleaned up nicely. I'm pretty happy with that. The whole point here is I have to get this out of frame boards. It's got to sit over that, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple of marks. We're going to cut it, get a jigsaw out, cut it. I want that to sit over so I can just run a straight piece of plywood over, and I don't have to worry about, you know, cutting the plywood in the center to accommodate for this pipe that was coming out of the top. So this will be all covered, and it'll be nice and clean, and we won't have any tripping hazards. We'll leave it a nice access door. We'll make a, you know, we'll frame around it. It'll be pretty good. So let me, what we're going to do next is notch that, and we're going to just get going with the framing. So that's next. We're going to knock out this framing. Gonna have to neaten those up again. I did have to move them to get my hands in there. Okay, so if you watched episode 2 way back in time, you will know that to build this pad, I have to have access to the blower motor for the HVAC system in case that goes bad, because this blocks the way. And I also have to have room for this air filter, because this framing, again, blocks the way. So we are going to handle that now. And again, with the magic of editing, a couple hours for me and a couple minutes for you, we are all done with the outer framing, and everything came out wonderful. All our notches for maintenance access came out beautiful. That came out beautiful. Pump is fully operational and cleaned up. So next, we're going to move on to the next phase. I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then we are going to lay the floor joists, 16 on center, just like a house, even though we're definitely not building a house. And then we will lay the sheathing for the floor. We'll get some carpet. We'll do some painting. You know how it goes. So quick break, and we're back at it with the next phase. So we have come as far as we can, as far as these floor joists are concerned. I got the 3 here. Everything else kind of has to be customized. At least these have to be notched. I'll run those 2, I'll notch them, and I'll box this out, and then we have to box around the sump pump there. Because the joists need to go mark number 1, mark number 2, and they'll never make it over that. So anyway, we will start by pulling this filter out, marking where it needs to come out completely to be lifted up. So that will give us, we'll just do a rough mark about there. And then this one will follow it. So if this can come out, the blower motor should be able to come out because it's a little shorter. So anyway, let me get going with that, and then I will talk to you shortly. guys, so I did all that work, and I thought I had the video recording, but I guess shit happens and I forgot to press the record button, or it didn't take, so whatever. I wanted to show you over here in this section by our furnace. I finished, let's get these out of the way. I finished boxing these out. That's cool. I want to show you something cool. What we're going to do, just for added support, and so in the future, if we have to access this, we could knock this thing out with a hammer. We're just going to put a couple dabs of wood glue. And then we're going to just take the piece that we cut out. And we're just going to, oops, I missed it, dumbass. Let's reapply here. And we're just going to set that there. Let's get that all straight. That'll dry, that'll give us support. We're not going to put any screws into it with the plywood, but if we ever have to service anything, we can just bang, crack that out with a hammer. I'm going to do the same thing on these. Just a little trick here. One more there. That's the piece that came out of there. That fits in nice. That'll stay. That'll give our plywood support. One more time. Oh, cap came down. Again, I'm working one-handed, sorry. Little dot, little dot. Put that in. That is lined up beautiful. Let's move this one a little back to where we had it. And like I said, that'll give us support and we can knock it right out with a hammer. That is perfect. So that is boxed in. Beautifully boxed in. And check that out. Get it right out. Beautiful. Okay, so I just got a box in around here. Run the two joists, and then we're ready for sheathing. 2 seconds for you, and 2 weeks for me, and the framing is all done. And man, did it come out nice. Just take a look at that. Yeah, so we spoke about that. So you got the gist there, and I finished boxing that out, and everything came out really nice. And the most important thing is everything is level. Everything is level. And that is the most important part. No matter where you put it, is level. So, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take another trip to the parts store, and we're going to get 4 sheets of 3/4 ply. And we're going to sheathe this. It's going to be a little bit more difficult than normal. So I got to make an access door here, separate access door there, and an access door there. So let's head back to the parts store, or parts store, hardware store, shitty Home Depot wood, and we'll sheathe this, then we'll do some painting, run a carpet, then we'll get a deck carpet, and then that's it. So I got the 2 largest pieces of sheathing cut and down, screwed in. Everything else is kind of a smaller custom cut. We gotta run this up the side. We gotta cut here. I'm gonna put a panel here. So I figured because it's smaller cuts and I have the plywood outside, I figured we'd take this outside and continue working out there. You know, it's 100 degrees. It's the heat of the day. There's no shade. I figured we'd work out there, maybe sweat, get dehydrated, get dizzy, fall on the ground, hit our head. You know, we'll just keep it nice and light. So let's go out there and we'll continue. All right, so let's move on to the next phase. We're here at the carpet store. We're about to go in here and get a carpet. What does a carpet have to do with the project, you might ask? Well, it's very important functionally and visually. So if you've played drums for any amount of time, sorry about the traffic, we're on a main road here, so if you've played drums for any amount of time, you know that drums on a hard surface tend to walk. Your drums will be up here in upstate New York, and your china cymbal will be headed down south to Key West, Florida. So functionally, it's important. Visually, carpet is just my style. I think the black carpet on top of these pad risers makes the kits pop. Did I say that right? Makes the drum kits pop. Those beautiful tour kits on those black carpets. So anyway, this place, man, they've been doing work for me for a while. They did all the carpet on the risers, you know, the damage ink, the damage justice, wherever I may roam kit, they've done all the work. They'll cut you a nice piece and they'll bind the edges. And what binding the edges means is they'll sew it up so you don't get those little fibers fraying everywhere. I love this place, custom cut. So let's go in there. Let's talk to these people. This might be boring to some of you, but it's part of the project. I mean, I haven't been here since 2022. Last time I was here, I think they hit me for $275, but it's worth it. So let's go in here. Let's talk to these people. I'm not going to film right off the bat. Let's get some permission, but definitely a needed piece to this project. All right, so here we go. This is what we're going to go with. Beautiful. It's functional. Beautiful place. Boring to some of you, but Let's go pay for this. All right. That was painless. I love this place. So we got the carpet. It'll be ready in 2 days. This place is great. They were able to just pull my old history. We got the same exact carpet we've put on all 3 risers. The only thing is, we got banged for $291.61. And this one was smaller than the last one. I think the Wherever I May Roam pad is 10 by 10. This was like 10 by 9. And the last one was $231. Or $238, I'm sorry. This one was $291. But everything's going up. That's the way it is. 10 by 8.5. Yep, there it is. But I still love this place. 2 days. $291.61. It's going up quite a bit. So we'll add that to the budget. But it's much needed. And, man, I don't know what to say. But we are moving along quickly. This episode might have been boring, but we needed to do it. So let's get this carpet home. Carpet Mill Outlet, great place. Let's get it home. We'll put a couple staples in it, set it up. And I think we're gonna mock this kid up. So stay tuned. Right, it's been 2 days. Let's go in there and pick up a carpet. The only thing that sucks is we got to park over here, because if you park in bay 1 instead of bay 2, even though it's 6 inches over, they will not move that carpet over 6 inches to open the other bay door. It's kind of hilarious. All right, so we got the carpet. We're on our way home, and perfect timing, because we're getting a nasty storm, bunch of rain tonight, and we just finished the pad. We absolutely have to get those drums up off the ground. This couldn't have been a better timing. So let's get this home. We're gonna put it down on the pad, and then we're gonna mock that kit up, and I'll show you how that's done and what our work's gonna finally look like after all this time, and how it comes out. So here it is, carpet. And we're getting back on the road. We got to get gas. I mean, you can't do anything in a pickup truck without getting gas every 5 seconds. But we're going to get on the road, and we'll bring this in the house, and we'll set it up. And there you go. There's the finished product. Looking good, looking really good, and everything is still accessible. You just lift that up, get to work. Come over here, lift this up, do what you got to do down there. Beautiful. So let me tell you, we couldn't have finished this at a better time, because it is absolutely pouring out there. They're talking about rain like we haven't had in years. So I do expect to get a little water down here. So we got to get these drums up on the pad. We got to get moving. And that is the next phase. After all this time and all this work we've put in, we're going to get to see this kit mocked up tonight. And finally see what it looks like up here before we move on to the next phase. So we'll clean this up. I'll put pictures and stickers. If anybody wants to send some stickers, we'll put it up there. We'll clean this up. We'll get posters and artwork. We'll make it really cool like the rest of the room. So let me get going. I got to get these drums off the ground. The water's coming, man.
Oh yeah, after 9 months, here it is in front of us. The Poor Touring Me kit. A very raw, very unadjusted version, but still it's everything we need, minus the snare, and as I just recently found out, the throne. I got to get a throne, but I got an idea for that. Anyway, after 9 months of all those road trips and unboxings and searchings and everything else we did, over 10 episodes and 5 side quests, here we go. 222s, 10, 12, 16, 18, all the stands minus the cymbals, of course, but they're all still in production. Our legless hi-hat stand, our repaired Titan. Man, there it is. What more could you ask for? So, what an episode, man. That was a lot of work getting this pad done. It took about a couple weeks over the course. No, I did not end up getting any water. Of course, the weatherman, as always, was completely wrong. I think we got more like 2 or 3 inches of rain, and I didn't get any water down here. It takes quite a bit for me to get water in that sump pump. But anyway, what do you think? Put it in the comments. We got a lot of work to do yet. Of course, we got to wrap it. We've got to polish all the hardware. We have to prep these kicks. We got to make them 10 lug. We're going to strip all this hardware off. Whatever needs polishing and painting, that's going to get done. Then we're going to go and get some wrap. That's going to be quite expensive. We're going to get a run of heads. We're going to change all the heads. Cymbals, I think, will be last once we finish the M72. But there you go. All this work, and here it is. I know you guys have been waiting for it. It finally has a place to live on this pad. So now, after this episode, what I'm going to do is break everything down. We're going to strip everything together. I'm going to get it all on video, but this is where all our work is going to get done. As you can see, this is a little tight for space. Story of my life. It seems I'm always squeezing past boom arms. I mean, I could be in the middle of the salt flats, and I would have a kit out in the salt flats, and I would still have to squeeze past boom arms. Story of my life. But as you can see, not much room going on here. We'll kind of have to be creative in the way we adjust things. We can make it work. We can definitely make it work. The M72 kit, I don't know how the hell we're going to do that, but we're not even there yet besides the one kick drum. But anyway, oh yeah, I swapped over the Silver Sparkle hoops, so everything is really complete. That will be part of the next couple of episodes where we're going to strip that down because we're going to need the lugs, and then we're going to ship it on down the road. But pretty good, man. This is everything we need. Like I said, minus a snare. I think it's time to start thinking about that snare and a throne, but that's no big deal. So anyway, I'm happy, but before we leave, you guys know how I like to decorate around here and do the walls and everything. But before I leave, I have to unbox one more thing that showed up in the midst of this episode. Huge shout out to Seth for locating this for me. And I mean, this was quite expensive, but to keep with the theme, I wanted this. I wanted this more than anything else. I've seen it pop up a couple times. Some lucky bastard out there got it for $40. I was not so fortunate. But we're in this deep. What does it really matter at this point? So anyway, I have a tube here. You could probably guess what it is. Let's try this side. Might be easier. Was looking for this for quite some time, and I didn't even see it. Like I said, Seth saw it, alerted me, shot an offer. I think this ran us $175. Not happy about that, but it is what it is, and if you want these kind of things, you've got to jump on them, because believe me, if we don't jump on them, somebody else is going to. All right. Oh, pack nice. I don't know if you know what this is. You might have an idea. Okay. Well, that's the bottom. I really wanted this, guys. Let me try and unravel that. Yeah, that's right. That is this dealer-only exclusive, whatever you would call it, kind of tapestry. The Silver Sparkle kit there, the Load Era tapestry. I have the big one for the Wherever I May Roam kit, and I really, really wanted this. So there it is, $175. We're going to add that to the budget this week, as as well as all the other stuff we bought. This is going to be a very expensive episode, but we did sell some stuff. But what do you think, man? That is awesome. So what we're going to do, well, let's not damage it, jackass. We're going to put that right behind me on the wall. I mean, we could put it there or there, but we're going to put up, I think we're going to put up some load fabric posters. I love the fabric posters. And we also have that one poster I got a couple months ago. You know, this is how I do it. This is my MO for decorating, but I am super, super, super psyched to have that. I really, really wanted that. That is great. So, all right, guys, thanks again for the 9 months. If you made it through this entire episode, pat yourself on the back and put yourself in for 8 hours. I can't believe you made it all the way through, but I think the payoff was worth it. So everything's here. Now our work really starts. We got to strip everything, polish all the hardware, prep the shelves, wrap it. I'm going to show you how to do that with some tape, maybe some glue. I don't know. We got to take a trip up to Precision. I've had a couple dealings with Sam over the past couple months because I have been looking into it. Not very happy with Sam, so we're going to go with Precision. But anyway, let's head over right away to the spent and income section, because there's some things we got to discuss. Besides this, we spent a pretty penny this episode, but it had to be done. Anyway, take another look. Poor touring me. Everything we need, almost everything we need, minus snare and stool, in the flesh. So we'll be working up here for the remainder of the project mostly. Anyway, off to segment number 2, spent and income. Okay, let's talk money, because we spent a bunch of it this episode. You know, that sucks, but it is what it is. So anyway, take a look at this picture. This is where we left off last episode. That's right. So that's exactly where we were. And like I say every episode, if you're unfamiliar with the challenges that I've kind of set, go back and check out some of our episodes, even some of the pre-episodes where I announced the project. Great way to get yourself up to speed and understand all those challenges. So anyway, I got a pile of receipts here, plus the other 2 things we bought, the carpet and the tapestry poster. So right off the bat, well, actually, first I should say, when we spend money here, we round up. When we sell things, we round down. We're very conservative in this series. This way it gives everybody the benefit of the doubt. So anyway, all these receipts, everything has to do with what we spent for the project, except these 2 things. This is rodent repellent, and that I had to pick up while I was at the store. In case you don't know, I live near the woods, and we have a very, very terrible problem with squirrels tearing up our cars. We'll go and buy a brand new car, and they'll be in there chewing up the wire. So I have to stay on top of that. So this has nothing to do with the project. We bought 2 things. So right off the bat, I have a calculator because I'm recording on the phone. So let's get to it. We spent $175 on the poster. We spent $292 on the carpet. We have $6 here for some elbows, and we have $4 here for a hose clamp. Okay, this receipt is completely everything we spent on the project. $53. Let's go right up to $200. Plus another $43. Plus $105. Plus $50. Wood is very expensive nowadays. Plus $73. $1,000 we spent in this episode. Man, that hurts. Wow, does that hurt? Most of the time, we get great deals. You saw last episode, we got a deal of a lifetime. But sometimes we absolutely get demolished in what we spend. It is what it is. Unfortunately, lumber and anything at the hardware store is in the stratosphere. Like I said in the middle of the episode, I'm paying double for the wood than I did back in 2021. But it is what it is. Now keep in mind, you might not have to go through this. Everybody's mileage is going to vary here. In the Northeast, our homes have basements, almost every single one of them. And my particular setup, I get a little water. As you know, I said that during the episode. So I have to put everything up on a pad. It's just what I have to do. Let's say I went out and bought the M72 retail kit, right from Sweetwater. Well, I would have had to build the pad before it got here. It's just part of it. So not all of you are going to go through this and have to spend that. Unfortunately, I do. This is tailored towards my build. So take this with a grain of salt. This is just what we went through for this particular project. It may not affect all of you. So let's add $1,001 to all three challenges, because yes, it does apply to all three. Getting a shell kit on the ground, well, the ground here for me is a riser. Here is our total after 10 episodes. And that's what we spent after 10 episodes. And the next few episodes aren't going to be cheap either, because we have to go and buy silver sparkle wrap, and there is no easy way around it. There is one company in the world that makes a silver sparkle wrap, and it's Delmar. They set the prices. There is no negotiating. It is what it is. So this project is starting to add up really quick. Can we get everything done per our challenges? Remember, I had set $6,500 aside for the M72 kit. It was a lot more than $6,500, so that's why we're doing this project. We are still well under $6,500 at this point. Are we going to get 2 kits done for that? I really don't think so. But we are right in the middle of this. So it is what it is. But there is hope. We made quite a few sales this week on eBay. Of course, it's not enough to offset that, but it is what it is. So let's move directly over to the income segment and try and take away some of the pain. I swear to God, I wish somebody would have hit me in the side of the head with a pipe to take the pain away of that number.
What? Okay, let's talk about income. This is exactly where we left off last week. $250. Okay, we made quite a few sales this week. We had 2 sales on the Facebook groups. First of all, I sold these 4 Metallica-inspired kick tension rods, 2 chrome and 2 black. I ended up making $20 on those. I also sold this set of hi-hat stand feet. You know, the ones we took off the Titan stand that we built, where we took the legs off. I ended up getting $12 for those. Again, this was Facebook Marketplace, or not Marketplace, Facebook groups, so we didn't have to do any tax or fees. Other than that, everything else was on eBay. And of course, I'm just going to mention what we made. Everybody knows that eBay has fees. So I was able to sell this here memory lock, and I got $5 for it. If you want to sell these things, you got to beat the competition. I think the competition was selling it at $9. I had to come in at $8, which left me with $5. You got to do it. You got to get rid of this stuff. A very wise man once told me that it is easier to carry the paper than the steel. Let that sink in. What that means, it's better to have cash in your pocket than carry a memory lock around that you're never going to use. Okay, I ended up also selling this, I think this was a Gibraltar lightweight beater. Again, I got $5 on this one. It's been sitting around for years. Ship it on down the road. And last but not least, we sold a Metallica-inspired MTH50 hexagon L-rod. I don't even know what the proper name of it. I sold one. We made $25. I have one left over. Well, I have multiple left over, but one more that I'm willing to part with. For some reason, I like to keep extras on hand. So there you go. That's $67. So let's add that to the $250, and we get $317 we have taken in so far for this project. Definitely nowhere near what we've spent, but it is what it is, and it does help. So anyway, thank you so very much for following and watching this very long episode. I really do appreciate it. If you made it all the way through, you you deserve a round of applause. Again, thank you very much. Thank you for keeping the channel going, keeping me motivated, and for all your continued support. I will see you soon. We are not done yet. This is just the beginning. Anyway, folks, have a great night.